To my podcast about sports, about sports, about sports.
Here we go. Howdy, Ags. Welcome to the tailgate, home of Aggie football. Corey, what's the word, brother? Welcome back to the show.
The word is big game this weekend.
Big, big
Hey,
game.
where's game day at? Is game day gonna be there?
No, I believe game day is at Tennessee for the Georgia game.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, and I don't know where SEC game day is, but I would imagine LSU.
Hey, so that's what we should start doing is following being our own game day. Screw game day. We'll make our own game day. We'll start going to these games.
Set up a
We'll do
booth.
it there.
We'll just set up a booth, camera. Let's roll.
Done.
I'm in.
Done.
You don't have to
Done.
convince me, man. I'm
Hey, Lee Corso is available right now too.
You think you can find us some headgear?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, today's sponsor, Pasini Tax Controversy Group. If you have problems with the IRS, call PTCG for help. Experienced, passionate, dedicated tax attorney. Visit the website at PasiniTaxGroup.com or call the office at 210-420-9586. Folks, don't forget to email us here at Ags Tailgate at gmail.com. Also, get on the YouTube channel to watch, subscribe. Leave comments. Let us know what you think, where your head's at. If you got comments, you disagree, you agree, love it, man. Let us know. Today's rundown, we're going to talk a little Utah State recap. We're going to go into the Notre Dame game, obviously, and then we're going to do a little around college football. A few notes before we get started. Zune and Marcel injured during the game. Both of them are fine and will play on Saturday. Aggies ranked number 16 in the country, up from 19. So there you go. A little positive movement after a win over Utah State. And so let's get right into it with the Utah State game. The Aggies on Saturday at Kyle Field, 11:45 a.m. kickoff, 44-22, double up. The Utah State Aggies. Total of 554 yards of offense and gave up about 250 yards on defense. Corey, let's start with the Aggie offense here. 319 yards passing. Marcel had 220 of it on 19 of 28 for 3 touchdowns. We'll get a little bit more into him specifically. Four passing touchdowns overall, 1 INT, 45 carries for 235 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, 22 receptions for 319 yards, 4 touchdowns on that. All right, just as an overall here, Corey, what was your takeaway on the Aggie offense against Utah State?
They still weren't as dominant as I thought they should be. I mean, the offensive line was decent. It seemed like a nobody Utah State team that lost damn near the whole team over the offseason, brought in a bunch of New Mexico transfers. The line of scrimmage, I thought we would have dominated more. I mean, Moss had some good runs. There were some good runs. Marcel looked good. But overall, it's not the domination. I mean, I watched other games like Texas Tech. That was domination. You know what I'm saying? Oregon, Oklahoma State, domination. A&M, Utah State, I mean, they beat them 44-22, but the spread was what? I can't remember, 23 and a half or something like that. It was just, I wasn't excited. I mean, I'm glad they won. I'm glad they won in blowout mode, I guess, 44-22, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, here's my takeaway from this game against Utah State. One, if I compare Utah State to UTSA, I don't know, they're probably not quite as good, but not, I figured they're kind of close though, right? Those two teams, especially after
Utah State's well coached, man. That's a good coach
UTSA
team.
goes and loses to Texas State, right? I mean,
Yeah,
um, so those teams probably aren't too far off. I think UTSA is probably a little bit better. But looking at our offense with regards to their performance from a week 1 to week 2, and looking at it how what some of the things that we were asking going into the season, right? The thing that excites me is the explosive plays, brother. And let me tell you, this offense is explosive, man. They've got playmakers on the outside. They got playmakers in the backfield. Obviously, they got a playmaker at quarterback, and they can go chunk plays. And I love that about it. I think that's huge. I do believe that that is the biggest difference from last year to this year. Now, having said all that, I do agree with you that they're inconsistent right now, right? There still
Yeah,
has to be more consistency on a down to down basis. Some of that'll come as the run game hopefully continues to improve, right? A lot better in the run game in week 2 than they were in week 1. So I'm hoping that that continues, that consistency comes a little bit more as that run game becomes a little bit better. Uh, and the offensive line, I think is gelling some more. I thought they were better in week 2 than they were in week 1.
yeah,
Um,
I agree.
so the explosive plays to me are a big piece of why I'm pretty excited about where this offense could go, but we have to see a little bit more consistency, and specifically with regards to the consistency, I think it's on Marcel Reed, right? Because Marcel came in and early in the game, the first couple of drives, man, he seemed a little bit inaccurate. Even the first drive in the second half. He missed KC a couple of times when he was open on, short throws, easy throws. And so, it seems like there's times when he gets in there and his feet are a little off, man, and his throws are off, right? And so, um, I want to see a little bit more consistency from Marcel. And so let's start with that process and let's talk a little bit about the quarterback here. You know, He's been good over 2 games. Look, everybody knows I am the biggest Marcel guy on the planet, man.
Yeah,
That
I know. I've heard.
is my guy. And I
Yeah,
think he's an incredible college quarterback. Is he an NFL guy? I don't know. I don't know that he's got the arm strength to be an NFL type guy, right? But as far as a college quarterback, that dude can be everything. He can be a Heisman winner. He can be an awesome, all those things. I think he's got everything that it takes to be a top-notch college quarterback because of his leadership, his athleticism, and his ability to see the field, right? And his leadership, right? And so those are the things I think that I believe are great about this kid. And so as I looked at it, you know, I thought we've made progress from last year because of those explosive plays, the deep throws, the things that we're doing in that sense. Now he's got to take a step to try to be just a little bit more consistent. Maybe I don't know what they're doing pregame, but he needs to get started a little quicker, right? It seems like it's always the first or second drive, and then all of a sudden he gets going and gets into a rhythm and starts just hitting everything. What do you think?
I, I'll tell you the one thing I've noticed for the first 2 games is our team speed. We're a lot faster. I mean, on the outside, I see separation in the receivers this year than what I did last year. Um, I can't say the play calling is that much better, but just the speed. I mean, Praver and Concepcion and Bethel. Now Bethel, I like to smack that kid in the head a couple times. He dropped a couple passes, made Reed look bad. You know what I'm saying? But he's
Yeah.
good. He's got talent. The kid's got talent. Um, I'm confused on the play calling. I feel like these weaker games we need to establish the run and then kill him with the deep ball. But that's just me. That's what I think our plan should be.
All
I don't
right,
know
but
what.
on Marcel, I mean, what are your thoughts with regards to Marcel, his progression, where he's at
Oh,
today?
he's gotten a lot better. He's not his decision making isn't the best. I mean,
I
I'm just
disagree
being
with that. I
critical.
think I think his decision making is really good. Most of the time, I believe he's throwing to the right guy that he just misses him sometimes, is what I think.
So you think his accuracy is a problem?
When he's out of rhythm. Yeah, like every once, like I said, he'll come in and he has those early drives and he misses a couple of receivers. He's throwing to the guy that's open, but he just misses
Yeah,
them, I
I mean,
think.
I could see that. I mean, I like to see him take off and run like he does, but I'm worried about him if he gets hurt. I'm worried about that. Like he did. He got
Yeah.
a little banged up last game.
Yeah.
Makes you nervous. Makes you like, ooh, him and Zoom both getting dinged up. Makes you think, shit, is it worth playing those guys against a Utah State? Because you got Notre Dame next week. But yeah, I think he's done great, man. So far against Utah State and who was it? UTSA. He's been the best quarterback on the field by
Yeah.
far.
Hey, look, he had 14. Look, no, the Aggies as an offense had 14 total drives against Utah State, 9 for Marcel, right? 9 of
Right.
those drives, Marcel. He went punt, field goal, but there was 2 of those drives where they turned the ball over on downs, right? And
That's unacceptable.
those both of those drives started on the Utah State side of the things. And so he basically had 5 successful drives out of the 9 because I'm not going to give him credit for the field goal. Against Utah State, it should be touchdown, 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 right? And that's
Right.
it. And so to me, that's where those inconsistencies came in. If you look at those drives, he came in and had some issues on those, right? And you know, we had 5 other drives with O'Neal. I mean, and look, we'll talk about a little bit about O'Neal later, but I'm leaving those kind of out of the equation. At the end of the day, however you look at it, Marcel right now is second in touchdowns in the SEC behind Taylor Green. He's seventh nationally, tied for seventh nationally in touchdowns, right? He's look, man, the dude's producing, need it more consistently, right? I just think he continues to be a great playmaker. He continues to be a really good leader on this team. You love what you hear from his receivers and how much they love this dude, right? Like that's a good thing. His teammates just absolutely adore him. I think that's freaking awesome. Now he just needs to get consistent with his throws. And like I said, it always seems to be at the beginning of the half, whether it's the beginning of the game or the beginning of the second half. I don't know what they're doing as far as warm-ups or whatever, but maybe they got to change that up a little bit and get him going a little bit earlier. Or Colin Klein has to do something as he's scripting those early plays to try to get him into a better rhythm, right? Whether it's using the run game or something to try to get him to the better rhythm early, because once he does get into a rhythm, man, that dude, I mean, he's unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Wow. I love it. He's unstoppable against UTSA and Utah State. Unstoppable.
Sure,
We'll find
sure.
out this weekend.
Yes. Well, this weekend we get a
We'll
big one.
find out. He's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
unstoppable.
yeah.
I love it. Unstoppable.
Hey, listen, man, I'm going with it, man. When he gets
I know
going,
you are.
that
I can
team,
hear you.
that team is off and running when he gets going, when
Off
he's
and
on
running.
point. So,
All right.
all right. So Marcel was good. He needs to continue to get better. Look, just to bring in O'Neal here as we're talking about quarterbacks. I'll tell you what, man, I like this kid, and he's
Hey,
a
he throws a really pretty ball.
gorgeous ball. You watch Marcel, and
and,
all those things are wobblers.
and you sit there and you hit me this weekend and go, God, he doesn't throw a pretty ball. I was like, no shit. It is not pretty.
It
It is
gets
not a
there.
pretty ball.
It
It
gets
gets
there.
there, but it's not. Oh, I don't know.
O'Neal though,
Anyway, huh?
that dude does throw. And when he threw that 72-yard touchdown, I mean, he looks like he's just barely
Oh
flicking it
yeah,
out there, man.
that
And it
kid's
is a
got an arm.
perfect spiral and on the money. I don't think we'll see a better throw all year long than that one, man.
No, he'll be good at another school pretty soon. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it's funny, but that does concern me, right? I think he could
Oh,
be
dude, it's
he
going to
could be the
happen. I
next
mean,
man up. I think he could be the next man up for this team for sure. But Marcel's not going anywhere after this year,
that's
right?
what I'm saying. I mean, you got Marcel for what, 2 more years at least? Because, like you said, he's not really an NFL prospect right now. I
Yeah.
don't think. So I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll
what's
see.
Marcel's a
Maybe as he continues to develop and develop his arm a little bit more, maybe that becomes an option for him. But I don't think it's this year by any means, and so maybe at least next year. And so if you're O'Neal, right, unlikely that you stick around behind Marcel for all those years, right?
I'll tell you one thing. What I see Marcel right now is a poor man's Jalen Daniels. I don't know if you remember Jalen Daniels before LSU at
Yeah.
Arizona State, I believe.
Hmm.
He was a scrambler. He didn't have good protection. I mean, Marcel's got better talent around him by far than Arizona State ever did. But I watched Daniels. He was a good quarterback, but he had to work on his mechanics. He had to work on decision making,
Yeah.
ball placement, and look where he's at now. I mean, shit, his second year in the pros, he's up there being talked about as one of the
That's a
QB
great
ones.
comparison. That's a great comparison. And even you look at Jaden Daniels, not even, I mean, if you go all the way back to Arizona State, right? I mean, the
Yeah,
progression's real clear. But even from year one at LSU to year two at LSU, the dude absolutely grew and like you said, he
huge.
worked on his passing game and the things that he was doing there, throwing the football. And dude, and yeah, that's a good comparison. Poor man's Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels probably has a little bit better arm, which
Oh yeah.
makes him that next level, kind of that next level talent. But yeah, I agree with you.
But if you watch Jalen Daniels at Arizona State and they said, yeah, he's transferring to LSU, they didn't even think he'd be the starter at first at LSU, and he came in and he did a great job. I mean, he surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, no, fully 100%, man. And that tells you that that's a guy that's a worker, right? That works on
Yeah,
his craft. He's going to get better. And that's what you're looking for in that quarterback. And I think we have that in Marcel, right? Marcel's a
right.
guy that's dedicated to the game. He's dedicated to his craft. He's a coach's kid, right? He wants to excel and he wants to get better. And I like that about him. Hey, let's move over to the offensive line here. Look, first thing for me, I thought that they were better in the run game in week two. Um, I still think that up in the middle of, especially the middle of the offensive line, we're still getting too much pressure inside. The Neal interception, I'm not saying he wouldn't have thrown it without it, but he had, that one of the things that killed him is pressure inside quick, right? Quick penetration inside. That's the worst thing for a quarterback. And so I think we have to still continue to get stronger. And I don't know that they're just getting beat physically. I think sometimes it's schematic. They're missing guys, right? But the pressure inside, I think, is the one thing that's been hurting us. I thought the pass protection was actually pretty good by this group for the most part, other than those pressures inside. I think the tackles are looking really good, even though, we played without Zune for a while. It was bored on out there at times. Um, you know, Naboo played tackle for a while as well after the injury. So, what's your take on this offensive line and how they progressed up from week one to week two?
And I think they're doing a fine job. I'm not going to say they've done great. They've done fine. I mean, the competition is still lacking. Um, like you said, that I feel like there's getting too much pressure from these small schools. I don't know if it's Marcel reading the defense or Klein playing play calling. It just seems the defense almost knows what we're calling sometimes, and it's like they got 7 or 8 men in a box. We're still trying to do something. I mean, we still got positive yards on some of the plays. Like you and I were watching that one play, like why'd they run this, but it still worked. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, give it to Moss here, and he ran for 7 or 8 yards. I don't know if it was. It looked like the defense was ready for it. They just couldn't do anything about it. Does that make sense?
But there was that one play where he should have given it to Moss. Remember that one read, that zone read? He ended up
Yeah.
keeping
Oh
Moss.
yeah.
Moss might have
Yeah.
hit his head on the goalpost if he handed it to him. But um,
But,
you know, I think they're still working on getting a little bit more physical. They need to be more physical. I haven't seen that interior physicality where they're just dominating defensive linemen. It's more
right.
they're just staying on blocks and then the running backs are finding holes. So let's see if they can continue to develop that in right there. Some of that physicality that we like from the Maroon Goons, right? Like, we're gonna get you, man. We're gonna overpower you. You know, but I do think I saw progress from week one to week two. I liked what I
Right.
saw in progress there. So hopefully they continue that progress. And now week three, big opponent, maybe we can show a little something there. I love the depth, by the way, on the offensive line, and we might get Fathery back this week as well. But I love the depth and what we've been able to do. Board on, coming in at tackle. As a redshirt freshman, man, he's looked good. I think he's your next guy up. You need to continue to get him reps. And the rotation that we've had inside as well with Coley and Naboo as well. That gives us some options, knowing that we're losing a number of these guys for next year, right?
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with you. And like I said, I mean, we're not playing Utah State or UTSA next week.
Or the
They
rest
better
of
be
the
ready.
the rest of the year, for that matter.
Exactly. I mean, we got one more gimme game, I think, and
Sanford,
that's it. Who?
I think it's Sanford, right?
I think it's Stanford. It's a gimme either way. Stanford sucks. God,
Yeah,
they're terrible.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. I just want to see. I want to see the running game just dominate. I mean, they were good against Utah State. I just want to see this offensive line take control of the game. I don't want to see Reese Marcel get any pressure at all.
Yeah.
And there should be no reason for him to have to run against Utah State or unless it's a designed run.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
am. I do think, and speaking of that running game, right? I think it got better this past week, and we'll talk about the running backs here in a minute. Um, but yeah, it was improvement. Are they there yet? No, they still have the opportunity to improve, and so I'm excited to see where that goes, and I'm excited that we have seen some of that improvement up front. So
yeah,
hopefully they can continue to, avoid injury. The Zune thing obviously was
scary.
yeah, scary, scary.
Where was he at when he got hurt? Because you and I were talking about was he playing
He got
tackle or
rolled
center?
up. He got rolled up, right? They came up behind him and he
But
got
you had
rolled.
said something to me like you thought he was at center when he got hurt.
Yeah, I think he was playing center when it happened.
That's what you said to me when he got hurt, and I was like, man, I don't remember because we were watching
Because
freaking
they've been
9 games.
rotating. Yeah, they've been rotating him in and out at center.
Well, we got to tell everybody we were watching 9 games while the Aggie game was going on. That game plus 8 other ones.
Yeah, it was. We had a pretty good setup. We had a pretty good
Yeah, it
setup.
was pretty cool.
Not bad.
Uh-huh.
A group that I think, well, maybe second to the wide receivers offensively, the tight end group has impressed me the most for this offense because, and not
Yeah,
necessarily in the passing game necessarily. They've been. Don't get me wrong. I think Theo's been a weapon, and the other guys are there.
Naboo. What's his name? What's that other guy's name?
Niblock,
Niblock.
and
Niblock.
yeah,
He's in. I mean, they've actually tried to hit him a few times in the end zone.
they did. They tried to get him involved. But more on the blocking side of things, man. I think all three of those guys have been really, really good in the blocking, in the run game, in the screen game, all of those things outside and inside the box, man. And I'm very, very impressed with what they've done so far with those tight ends. They've showed a lot of two and three tight end sets with those guys. And I think we'll continue to see that, right? I mean,
Really?
I
You think
like
really?
the I like the, I like the different things you can do schematically and formation wise as you're using those guys. Don't get me wrong. Look, with our wide receivers, and we're about to talk about them, you want to get them
Yeah.
out there as well. So there's times that you want to make sure to have all four out there too. But man, I'm impressed with the tight ends, and I've been very, very pleased with the way they've taken a huge step forward in how they block.
No, I've been impressed with the tight ends myself, but the change in competition, I don't think we're going to see as much two, three tight end sets. I don't, unless it's goal to go. I don't, or big packages. I mean, it doesn't make much sense. I mean, you got too much talent on the outside. Craver, Concepcion, Bethel, Bussy. You got too much talent, I think, outside to keep those guys on the bench.
You
It
know,
opens the field up too. It opens the field up too much for Marcel not to have those guys on the field.
Yeah, and they've been able to rotate the wide receivers by still keeping the tight end on the field. I do like the tight end packages, and I do think we'll continue to see them. And I think you got to give Klein a little bit of credit because they've been able to get them in and out, right? And so shown four wide receivers, they've shown three, they've shown two, right? One at times, you're right. And so they've done a lot of different things people are going to have to prepare for. But these guys are versatile enough to where you can do things out of all those packages, whether it's play action and go deep, with some max protection type stuff. The thing for me though is you remember last year, man, it's like every time, there was a stop on a run, you go back and look and heck, it was the tight end who missed the freaking block, right? It's like
Yeah.
negative plays were all on the tight end. Not all, but a lot of them were because the blocks missed by those guys. And I think now you're getting those guys in there, and they've been really good. And yes, lesser competition. We'll see how that all looks to Saturday. But I've been impressed with them, so I'm glad that we've taken a step forward there in a group that I didn't expect to be a big contributor this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 2 or 3 years ago you would have said anybody on the offensive line was missing blocks. Now it's the tight ends are stepping up. So I mean we're not missing as many blocks. I mean, we're a lot better off right now than we were 2, 3 years ago. Even last year. I don't
100%.
see I mean, you think we lost a few receivers last year and we're a lot better team on offense than we were last year.
So let's go to the biggest reason why, because this wide receiver group is as good as there is in the SEC, I think. Man, I am so impressed with these guys. And,
Yeah.
we talk about the transfers coming in, obviously, with Concepcion and Rio. Man, those two dudes have been difference makers. Rio is number two in the SEC in yards. Where's that? Fifth in receptions, right? Those two guys have him and Concepcion have 3 touchdowns apiece already, which is, second in the country. Second in the country, lead the SEC, right? Like these guys are making plays, man,
Yeah.
and they're making big plays. I'm super, super impressed by both of those guys with their ability to get open, one, and two, their ability to make guys miss and make plays with the balls in their hands, right? I mean,
Right.
it's been a huge difference maker for Marcel to have those guys. It's been a huge difference maker for Klein to have those guys in there. But I don't want to just stop at that because Bussy, man, looks good, right?
Yeah.
And you could tell on Saturday, we talked about it during the game, man. Klein was doing everything he can to get Bethel Roman involved, right? And he had a couple of drops, but then
Uh,
he had some catches.
he really was, man. It was driving me crazy. Like, and he dropped how many balls he dropped? Two
Two
that I
at
know of.
least, two that I
Yeah,
remember.
I mean, God, I was like, damn, this guy catches that. I mean, that's what you need. You need that guy that nobody's going to think about, Bethel, but you got Concepcion, and that guy's a game changer. I'm
Game
not
changer.
going. I mean, he has really impressed me. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't see him much at NC State, but he's an athlete. I mean, Craver's fast. He's quick and fast. And we were talking about Craver. We're like, is he playing today? Remember that first quarter or something like that?
Also, he didn't really get in there in the first half
We're like,
much, did he?
is he playing? Was he hurt? We didn't know. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, bam, there he
He was
goes
on the
again.
sideline a lot in the first half, I thought.
Yeah, and then Concepcion, man, he just gets the ball in his hands. It's electric. You're just like, oh shit, what's he going to do? He reminds me a
And
little bit of like Anais. Remember Anais used to get the ball, you just try to get him the ball. Like, what's Anais going to do? Where's he going?
but maybe more explosive, right? Like more top
Oh,
end.
Concepcion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and here's the other thing. Concepcion could have had at least two other catches if Marcel doesn't go, absolutely way off target, during those stretches, right?
Well, that's what we're talking about. Marcel got to work on his accuracy. I think his footwork. He gets his feet out of line sometimes.
And
It's
I do
just
and I do think for one of those he had interior pressure in his face, right? So, you take some of that, but um going back to these wide receivers, brother. Gosh almighty, what a change. What a
yeah.
change from one year to the next, man. Everybody was
It's the
worried about,
explosive play. It's the explosive plays we've been talking about for the last couple of years. It's
yeah, 100%.
huge. I mean, it changes. It's a game changer. I mean, you might be at second and 10 and on your own 25 and bam, 70 something yards later, touchdown.
And that's the thing, that comes into play. And I've been talking about this for years, right? And we may not have had these kind of guys here or whatever. But at the end of the day, the fact that we never went downfield also allowed defenses to really take
Creep
the
up.
first level off, right? Like they would break on first move on wide receivers, man, and just take shit away, be so tight. And now they can't do that, right? And you can see all
Yeah.
the space open up underneath in what they're
Yep.
doing, man. And it's impressive, dude. Both of those guys
That's
are all four of those guys can get open, man. They can back a defense up.
I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning was team speed. Our team speed. I mean, we're fast on the outside, wide receivers. I don't remember us having a group of receivers this fast, like this deep. I mean, we had bigger receivers, maybe some with better hands, but as a group, this is talent.
This is as good a group that we've had since I think the Mike Evans days.
Well, I mean, even those days, Mike was a big, he wasn't, I mean, he had some speed. He just beat guys for 50-50 balls. He was so big.
Yeah, but you
And
forget
what's his
that
name?
not only did you have Mike Evans, you had Swope, and then who the third one was Wachaku or one of those guys.
Wachaku, yeah,
You
Wachaku.
know, they had
But
a
if you
couple
put
other,
those guys, I mean, Mike Evans is a difference maker because he's so
maybe
big.
Josh Reynolds might have been on those teams.
Nah, I don't think so. He might have been on the bench.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think he started on
We
those
didn't play
teams.
freshman back then.
Mhm. You know, passes on Saturday of 72 34 to Bussy, 31 to was it Concepcion on the 31 yarder? 74 to Rio. So look, we could have gone all season last year and not said those numbers.
Very true. It's very true.
And then running back, we're gonna, kind of quick recap here on the run back. We knew we had a great stable coming in, but I want to make something very, very clear to everybody, you included.
Wait, you talking about Ruben Owens?
No,
Go ahead.
Le'Veon Moss is a a a. He is
Yeah, I
number
agree.
one. He is head and shoulders above the rest of these guys. Demarius
Wait,
Earl might end up being there at some point, but Ruben Owens, love him. He's good. Amari Daniels, good. Le'Veon Moss is a difference maker, brother, and he is better than those other guys. He is the horse.
I'll tell you one thing Le'Veon does that Ruben Owens needs to learn is Le'Veon sees a hole, he hits it. He doesn't stutter step. Ruben sits there and he's dancing and wait, hold on, wait, and then the next thing you know, he's down. He gets touched. It's not touch football. He goes down too easy. Le'Veon, dude, I don't understand short yardage plays. Why you don't give that guy the ball more? I
Look,
mean, why are you playing
yeah,
games? Why
yeah,
is EJ Smith in
no
there on
question, no
fourth and
question.
one or fourth and two? I mean, put Le'Veon, get the first down, and then put EJ in. Let him get his couple yards
Those fourth and short plays should be Le'Veon every time. Um,
every time.
and he was
First down should be
10 for 68
whatever.
and touchdown on Saturday. They still haven't put a lot on him, but I'm going to tell you what,
No,
and to his credit, and kind of Owens and give him a little bit of a leeway here because he hasn't seen enough plays, as many plays clearly, right? Like when
yeah,
Le'Veon started going and started getting some really good playing time, he still had his vision still wasn't as good, but you see him now, man, and he's developed that dude. That dude is and his physicality is above the rest of them. He's just more physical than those other guys. I,
yeah,
I'm, I'm. Look, if this week we're in that game, he needs to be on the field, right?
absolutely,
He needs to
absolutely.
be on the field. The other guys could be a changeup from time to time, give him a blow. But if he's able to go, he needs to be on the field. He's the guy.
This week I would go Le'Veon 75, 75% of the time, Amari, and then maybe Ruben in
So maybe
third
Ruben
down.
with some specialty plays, right? Like bring Ruben in
Yeah,
for some different things.
third
Yeah.
down or trick play, something, something different. But I think Amari needs to be that. We're gonna have to hit the holes. We're gonna have to pound this ball against this Notre Dame team.
I
I
think
don't
so.
think we need to do toss plays, run it wide, hit them in the middle.
Yeah. Look, and hell, Morrow may be the next lead back after this year when Le'Veon's in the NFL next year. It may be Morrow, not Ruben, to be honest with you, because that physicality is not Ruben's strong suit, right? Ruben is
No,
he's kind of a change of pace back, right? He's better in the passing game, maybe things of that nature, out in open space.
he's an east to west guy. He's not a north to
Yeah.
south.
So, um, let's a little Aggie defense before we go into Notre Dame. Obviously, we got to get to Notre Dame, but look, I thought they were much better, obviously, against the run. 172 yards passing, 78 yards rushing. They did give up two 2-point conversions, and 3 out of 4 scoring opportunities in the red zone, but 2 of 14 on third downs, pretty good, right? Much better against the run. I didn't think that this offense, and especially the running back, by the way, were as good as UTSA and probably not even close, right? So they still got a lot to do, but they did give up 2 75-yard drives, right? So they still had a couple of, big plays, a big run for 30 yards, kind of concerns you. But still a lot better, man. A big improvement from the week before. And if you watch this defense, and me and you were talking about it on Saturday, when they really started to solidify what they were doing and start to look better, is because they got more sound, right? Simplified the defense. They were playing. It wasn't all this, Elko, movement and everything else. It was 4 down guys coming, holding up for the run, linebackers playing the run, and secondary doing their thing man to man. I mean, it was more traditional defense that allowed them to be more sound and allowed them to contain this run game. it was improvement. We're not there yet. The test is going to be this Saturday for sure. What are your thoughts on this defense?
I mean, I agree mostly with what you're saying. I was disappointed. We're not explosive as I thought we'd be off the edges, except for one set of downs, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? One possession for Utah State, we dominated. Lee disappointed the hell out of me
Not
at
we.
cornerback. Huh?
Howell dominated. Howell dominated
How
with
dominated one
sack,
possession.
sack, sack. Three
Yeah,
plays,
that was awesome.
three
That was
sacks. That's
that was awesome. I thought
and
they were kidding when they kept saying his name
yeah,
because I was looking. You kept saying like, "Wait, is that him again?"
yeah.
But Lee, the cornerback, disappointed the hell out of me. I don't know if he even came to play this weekend. The way he didn't look like himself. I know he's better than that.
Yes.
The secondary, I mean, they're just it's still the big plays, the dumbass penalties. I don't know if the coaches are getting outsmarted by the other coach because the trick plays got us a couple times. We're like, the quarterback run, just little stuff that York didn't look as good as he has. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know why they have him in coverage. You know,
I still never will know why they have him in coverage.
I
And
mean, he's great against the run, great
yeah,
against the run, good leader, but you don't need to be. You need to find somebody else to cover the tight ends or running backs out of the
if
backfield.
it's third and long, he probably doesn't need to be on the field unless you're blitzing him.
No, no.
You know what I mean?
And I didn't hear Scooby. The Scooby play, I didn't hear him much at
Scooby
all.
had a great game. Scooby had a
I
great
didn't
game.
hear him much.
Oh, I thought
Hal
Scooby
had a
did.
good game. Lee sucked. York was in. I mean, I'm always about the negatives. You know what I mean?
Negative
How.
Nelly. Negative Nelly over there.
No,
Hey, but
I just
look,
want him to do better.
to
That's
add
how
to
I
add
am.
to the Howell thing,
The levels here. I expect him to be this good. When you're a little bit less, I'm gonna call you out on it. I think
yeah.
that's what coaching is.
Look,
You expect him to be good.
I thought Howell really came to play. I thought Marco Jones looked good on the other end as well. You know, he doesn't get as many reps there with those guys at times, and it's more on the passing downs, but I think he can bring some pressure. I like those guys. And I think they need to continue to use that combination when it's third downs. Let those guys just come off the edge. Don't have to do all this crazy blitzing and stunting and all this stuff. Let those guys come and get it. Um,
What about the interior line?
Interior of the defensive line, you know, you've got what you have is a couple of guys that are really solid, right?
Regis?
Regis and T.O., I think are really solid. Hicks, man, hadn't really shown it that much, right? I mean, he had one explosive play in there, I think, on Saturday that you saw him he come to life a little bit, and
But we expect
I'm
to see that
disappointed.
all the
That was a guy
time.
that I wanted to take a huge step forward this year. I haven't seen it from
Exactly.
him.
Nope.
So they're more solid on the inside than anything else. They don't really have a guy that's just a game changer. But T.O. and Regis, man, are probably your two guys. And if they're in there, you're probably pretty good against the run and have a chance to hold up pretty good. And we'll see. I think those freshmen need to continue to develop, but have shown some promise. And you're right, man. But I think that's been the weakness of this defensive line for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
you know, Searcy and Hayes have been good on the ends, right? Especially against the run.
Yeah.
Not really pressure wise, but against the run in the front. Both of those
Yeah.
guys have done their job. Um, and then you're right. I mean, like York, man, York has got to step up, dude. He was non-existent on Saturday, non-existent.
Yeah. That was.
And we got lucky on that one pass play where he was it back in the end zone. He just basically like,
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought he was gonna get called for pass interference, but
yeah.
you said didn't you tell me it was uncatchable or something like that?
I think that's the only reason he probably didn't get caught, man.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And then Lee, I'll tell you, man, he got beat on the double, I mean, wide open, right? The guy on the touchdown, just unbelievable, just wide open. He needs to be better. But, and then half the time they've got him so backed off that hell, they're giving up 5 yards without any competition, right? I mean, are you scared of Utah State wide receivers so much that you're backing them up and giving them all that room? I don't understand what was going on with that coverage, and maybe, that's just, whatever. But I, they
You
got
know
to
a
do
guy's
better
name
there.
we haven't said much. What's up with Chappelle?
I thought Chappelle played pretty good, actually.
I'm not hearing his name as much as what I thought we would this year. You know what I'm saying? Him and Hicks. I didn't think neither one of those two guys. I thought we'd hear their name more often than what we're hearing. But instead, we're hearing Hal. We're hearing who else would you say? You said Scooby,
Dude, I thought Scooby was,
Regis. We're hearing a lot of
yeah,
Regis,
I
huh?
thought Scooby was phenomenal.
Eh,
Um, I thought he made plays, man. He made a ton of plays. Matter of fact, he led the team in tackles for that matter. Forced a fumble, 1.5 tackles for loss. He had a sack. I mean, Scooby was in it,
was that in
but
the second half or first half?
throughout the game, I mean, he played
I
through.
was gonna say I
He
don't
played
remember.
the first
I
three
watched.
quarters, basically. First 3 quarters.
Because I was gonna say I watched the first half basically. After that, I was kind of
First three
in.
quarters, but Chappelle had 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not huge numbers, but he's, most of the time he's covering a guy man to man.
Well, that's what he should be. That's what our guys should be doing. That's what we
But he
want. But
didn't.
we're
He
not
didn't,
getting.
and he didn't give up a lot of plays there. So I thought Tyreek played pretty good.
That's another
Look,
thing that annoys me is that we're doing this man to man. Get up in them, right? They're
yeah,
not getting up in them, and then we have to get pressure. They're doing this stunt, whatever the hell they're. I don't even know what it is. And like you said, let them loose, let them go get them, let them, play their game. But they're trying to. I don't know what they're doing, keeping these guys in space. I'm not sure what Elko's doing with that.
yeah. Well, and we're going to see a lot more of this, obviously going into this week. This is the week we've been waiting for, right? Notre Dame. This is when we're going to find out where this team stands. After this week, we're going to talk a little bit more about, hey, where do we think stand? Because we get a bye the week after. So next week, our program was going to be all about what happened in Notre Dame. No preview, it's going to be, but we'll kind of reset the season a little bit there. Look, number 8 in the country, Notre Dame, 6:30 p.m. prime time in South Bend, Indiana, on NBC, right? Because it's a Notre Dame game, so we're on their TV, right? They lost week 1 to Miami. Miami's now ranked like number 5 or 4. Everybody's giving them all this love. Uh,
Yeah.
Look, they lost 27-24. It was a game that was tied 24-24 with, I don't know, 4 minutes to go. Miami goes down, kicks a field goal. Notre Dame gets the ball back with a chance to kick it. But really and truly, it's a story about how the slow start for Notre Dame, right? They've got a freshman quarterback, CJ Carr, first time playing out there. And they go down in the first half. They were down 21-7 in the first half, right? And it going into the fourth quarter, I mean, 21-7. So they slow started. And then in the fourth quarter, they scored 17 points, right? Made it a game, had an opportunity to go win and do those things. Either way, either way, I went back and watched that performance. I think I think if it's not game one, they probably beat Miami, right? Miami just had more experience, the quarterback, so on and so forth. I thought that. I didn't think Carson Beck was great by any means, but I guess his consistency early on, I think maybe gave him a chance and gave him that early lead. Uh, but I think as things settled down, Notre Dame ended up looking like the better team in the second half.
Well, Notre Dame's play calling, I didn't understand it at all that game. They supposed to have this one of the best running backs in the nation. They didn't give him the ball, but I think he carried the ball like 9 times, maybe 10. I don't even know. It wasn't many. It wasn't like I
Ten
thought it
times,
would
I
be,
think. Yeah, I think it was like 10 times.
especially when you have an inexperienced quarterback starting the game. I mean, it was, and I think that offensive line's not as good as they were last year. Um, yeah, it was, but they have talent, man. Those tight ends are going to be a handful. They're
So let's start here before we go into their offense. Let's talk a little bit about that defense, right?
for who?
And
Notre Dame?
yeah, that Notre Dame defense. And or no, sorry. Let's stay with what you're saying with the offense, like whatever you're talking about. Let's talk about that offense. And you're right. I think you're 100% right. That offensive line has taken a step back from last year.
Oh yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I don't think they're that dominant unit that we saw last year, especially towards the end of the year, man, that was just dominating games, right? And so
Nope.
I think you have an opportunity there as a defense to attack them. Um, but I mean, you tell me, how do you explain the fact that Jordan Price and Jeremiah Love, you know, Jeremiah Love 10 carries, Jordan Price 6, both of those guys really out of one big run by Price for that he had a 30-yarder, they were averaging like 3 yards a carry, right? How do you
Offensive line.
How do you
O line,
explain that?
O line, poor play calling. Um, I mean, I watched the first bit of that game, and it seems like they were calling pass plays every down, and the quarterback was tucking and running. And you got an inexperienced quarterback. I mean, what's the best way to get a quarterback in rhythm is to get them quick, short throws or hand the ball off, keep the defense off balance. They're not doing that. They just,
Yeah.
but they got two things that's going to give us fits. That's running the ball and tight ends.
You
That's going to
know,
give us
I'll tell
fits.
you this. That's a great point, and we'll get back to CJ Carr because I do want to talk about him a little bit. But as far as playmakers, both running backs, number one, right? Both running backs can go,
Yeah.
but they've got the tight end, Raridan, who's a big 6'7" kid and can make plays in the passing game, right?
Yeah.
And they've got Malachi Fields, who's a big 6'4" kid, can make plays in the passing game, go up and get the ball. He
Yeah.
had some nice catches the other day.
I mean,
Uh,
who's covering those guys?
and so, those guys are going to be that's a challenge for this defense, right? So let me ask you that. Who is the matchup against? Let's start with the wide receiver, right? The wide receiver in Fields. Who's the guy you're putting on him?
I mean, if you asked me this last week, I would have said Lee. But you ask me now, well,
I,
I don't know.
I think it's Lee. I think it has to be Lee. And
After
I
what you
actually
saw
think
last week, after what you
yeah,
saw last week,
I think he's a better matchup than the guys that he was covering last week. He's a bigger guy. That's kind of Lee's thing, right? He can go up with those big guys and be physical and do those things. The one guy I
yeah.
would not put on him, I'll tell you right now, is Ricks.
Oh yeah,
If
he's
Ricks
getting
ends
you
up on
pushed around.
that dude is going to out physical him all day.
I'll tell you another guy that we don't talk about playing the outside, but I like Chappelle a lot. Chappelle, he's a tough son of a bitch, man. That
Yeah.
kid. I mean, I've seen what he does.
Yeah.
He'll get up in your guts.
Yeah. And don't be surprised to see more Humphrey than Ricks this year because I think Humphrey plays well, much better into that physicality of those big receivers, right? I think
Because
he's
we're
a
going
guy
to have to man
that can
up
match
against.
those guys physically as far as, the physicality.
Well, who's covering the tight ends? Who's covering the big tight ends? You ain't
Well,
putting York on him.
no, I think you're gonna get a
Safety.
big game from Ratcliffe on this one.
Okay. I was
I
thinking
think,
Anderson or something like that. I wasn't sure where you're going. You
yeah.
think Scooby can match up with either one?
Scooby, I think you got to use Scooby against those running backs, don't you? I mean, Scooby's gonna have to cover those running backs you don't want York on those guys, I'll tell you that, right? So
What is
Scooby's got to
what's
be the guy on the running back.
what does Notre Dame mostly run? They run one or two back sets,
Mostly
two tight
one back
ends.
sets, but then they'll, one back sets with tight end, one back sets with two tight ends. That's kind of their thing.
Gotcha.
Um, And I'll tell you, it does scare me because, like you said, I mean, the places that we have really struggled is some backs out of the backfield, tight ends getting open. And so who covers those tight ends is going to be good. And I think it's got to be Ratcliffe. It's got to be Brooks, right? I mean, both of those guys have to come in and make those plays and be the guys that cover those big tight ends. And Ratcliffe, I think, sort of matches up really well in that sense. But if it was me, maybe I do something a little funky, man. Maybe I do use a Humphreys inside and to cover some tight ends and things like that. Some matchup stuff, especially on third down type situations, right? Bring in another big physical corner, not Riggs. Let me repeat that again, but but more of a Humphrey kind of guy to do that, and you match it up. Um,
I'll tell you my concerns for this game.
Chappelle could definitely cover him, right?
Oh yeah, Chappelle could. I mean, he's smaller, but he's tough. My concerns for this game defensively are the interior defensive line, them running the ball because we've seen other teams do it against us already. These two weak teams and are covering tight ends. I'm not worried about the cornerbacks as much. I almost want to get 8 men in the box, man up, and just dare them to pass the ball because and I want to get pressure up that quarter. I don't want to do this stunting bullshit. I want to get after him, get your hands up. I think this kid will turn the ball over if they do that, but I've said that for years and
Yeah.
they don't listen.
Look, I agree with you, man. I think you got to get your defense in the box against this offense and force them to beat you. And even more, if you can, force them to beat you with your outside receivers, man. Put
Yes,
your,
absolutely.
put your corners one on one on an island, let them press up and go and get everybody
Yep.
else in the box and force those guys to make plays on the outside. And I think they
Yep.
can. I don't think they can.
I don't either. I'm with you. I think if we get this team behind the sticks, that's what we have to do. I mean,
You
this
know,
team more than any other.
the last piece, and we talked CJ Carr. I'll tell you what, man. I was pretty impressed with the kid, for a first time starter as a freshman. One, he's a really good athlete, right? He can
Yeah.
run, he can take off and run, and that's what he did a lot of in this game against Miami was they get pressure and he would go find a way and he get 6 yards, 7 yards, right? He'd go take off and run. And so to me, that you've got to be able to contain him in the sense of keeping them in the pocket. I don't know if he has to try to beat you with his arm inside of the pocket consistently, like some of the passing plays that he made, he broke contain and then all of a sudden finds somebody wide open on a play that's off schedule, right? That's sort of some of the passing plays, the big passing plays that he made. So I think you got to keep him in the pocket, man. You're gonna have to use. I think you're gonna have to use a spy. You're gonna have to spy him. You know,
Well, who are you using for a spy? Scooby? Is that who you're talking about? Scooby or one of the safeties?
maybe one of the
You're not
safeties.
using you're not using York.
York can't keep up with it.
That's what I was thinking. I don't think he can either. York needs to be in there on first, maybe second down to clog up the middle. But after
But
that,
but even those defensive linemen have to be very aware of him leaving contain, right? Those ends have to be disciplined and not let him get outside. Don't get too far up the field and create big gashes in the middle. So you're going to have to play a more disciplined brand of defense, and then from time to time bring some pressure because I think you can make him force him to make mistakes, right? He's a rookie, he's a freshman. He had his second start, big time ball game. Force him to make a mistake by bringing him some pressure. Now, don't do it every down.
right,
Keep him corralled most of the time, and then boom, 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 and attack him on at times. And hopefully, you can get a turnover from him. Hopefully, you can get some sacks from him. Because he's going to try to make a big play and use his legs to get off schedule and do those things. He still isn't comfortable getting rid of the ball on time all the time, right?
right,
Um, Overall for our defense, I mean, look, you got to stop the run, right? Got to stop the run.
right.
If you don't stop the run, the rest of it doesn't matter. So this is where the biggest test I think that we're going to see this week is how does our front hold up against Jeremiah Love and Price and see if those guys are able to get big holes and create big plays in the running game. I'm not sure how that ends up. We're going to find out, but I certainly hope that Elko does a lot of what he did, kind of simplifying things with that defense, and especially in those running downs to try to corral those guys. Notre Dame defense, 4-2-5, they're a lot of man coverage. Look, I'll tell you what, man, I watched them. They're not the team from last year. They're not the team from last year. Up front, especially in the middle, they lost those two big defensive tackles to the NFL, man. I think they've got a little bit of a soft spot right up the middle of that defense. Their linebackers are okay, but they're not great, you know. And so I think they've got a little bit of a soft spot. This is a chance for this offensive line to demonstrate that they've taken a step from last week, from 2 weeks ago, from last year, especially inside, and show if they can dominate physically inside to run the football. I don't want to see I don't want to see this running side to side thing that we've been showing some of the first 2 weeks, right? I don't want, don't feel the need to consistently force that ball outside or try to do. Let's get this thing downhill, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, this is where we should have Moss. This is where Klein should be licking his chops, man. This Notre Dame team, they're going to be better than what we face, but I think our offense should have a field day. I think we need to come out fast, get ahead in this game, get them out of their game plan on this will change their offense. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, they'll change them from a
yeah,
running team to a passing team pretty quickly. We can get them down 14 or something, kind of like Miami did, and they playing catch up. You don't have to worry about those running backs as much, right? I
that's
mean, you don't
right.
have to worry about running the ball when you get a lead and somebody's playing from behind. You're trying to catch up.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's what I'm
absolutely. You're
saying.
You are 100% correct. You're 100% correct, and I think you get him uncomfortable. Now, listen, last week they put 2 weeks ago they put him behind, and in the fourth quarter he came out and played a lot of those plays with his legs, by the way,
Right.
but he did make some plays with his arms as well. So, but I think that's what you got to do, and you do
Yeah.
take them out of out of their comfort zone. I will say this: I think the defensive ends you got to be careful with. Our tackles have done a really good job of pass coverage. Got to be careful. Both of those defensive ends, I think they're both sophomores, younger guys, but both of them can come off the edge a little bit and give you some troubles if you don't do your job on the edges. So that's one thing I will say. The secondary is the best part of this defense, by the way. Strowman, one of the safeties, is probably their best player. Moore, their best cornerback. He's an NFL guy, right? The cornerback on the other side is pretty good. I think this is where our wide receiver depth is going to make a big difference for us because they probably got two really good corners, one really good corner, another really good corner. And then you can start getting guys into a better matchup. So Bussy, Bethel Roman, can you get those guys some opportunities against the second, the third, and the fourth cover guy, right? And our depth at wide receiver allows us to do that. Man, I'm excited to see this matchup. That secondary against our wide receivers. It's a good test for those guys. Can they make the plays that they have been the first 2 weeks of the season against a secondary that's pretty darn good?
No, I agree with you. That is going to be fun to watch. I hope that they do a lot of 4 wide receiver sets on offense, like you're saying, not too many two tight ends. Because I think it just the speed that we have at the wide receiver positions, because I think that's going to see Notre Dame players just turn their heads, going, Where do I go? Who do I cover?" 'Cause, I mean, and I think I really hope that we continue to take shots downfield, not just run the routes. I want to see Marcel actually throw it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That's what I
100%.
want to see. Take a chance, 50-50 ball. Do it.
Hey, throw it up to Bussy, man. I like that kid.
Do it. Seriously. Bussy, Concepcion, either one of those two, I have no problem with that. Bethel, he can't even catch a ball that's thrown right to him, but hey, he's got to get
He
better.
did he did end up making one pretty nice catch on the sideline over there. Bethel Roman did,
Yeah.
after that. But all right, so here it money time, baby. What's your prediction?
Man, the more I'm just sitting here thinking about this game. Like, I think the Aggies are going to score points. But can we stop them? I mean, we've given up what in the first two games? I mean, 20 something points a game. I
20,
mean,
21 and 22. Or
I
22,
mean,
22 and 24, right?
this is probably the best offense we played yet. They got good running backs. It depends on how Notre Dame comes out and how we come out. This could be a dogfight where, a backyard brawl where they just want to run it. It depends on the weather. I have no idea what the weather is. If it's raining,
Supposed to be nice. Supposed to be
running game.
a beautiful day in South Bend, Indiana. 70
Ah,
in the 70s.
man, I mean, just because Notre Dame's at home, I'm leaning Notre Dame in a high scoring affair. I'm thinking like 31-28 Notre Dame.
They're favored by 6.5, by the way, so that means you think the Aggies cover. 50 and a half is the over under. Um, man, I'm everywhere in this. Man, I'm
I
everywhere.
am too. I mean, it's just I don't know how we're going to come out. We come out so slow. If we come out slow, that plays into Notre Dame's hands. I mean, we can't get behind. I mean, we can get behind. We have the type of team that's explosive. We can score, but Notre Dame, if they get ahead, they're just going to run the clock. I think. I mean, they're going to bruise us.
I like the 31-28 score, but I want to go opposite way.
Do it. Hey, man, I'd love to see the Aggies win this game, but if I'm a betting
Um,
man, that's the score I think.
maybe man, maybe even closer, maybe 28-27 or something. Like, I mean,
That's a good one.
I think it's going to be a damn good game. I do think there's going to be some points scored because I think both of these defenses have some vulnerabilities, and I believe that both of these offenses have some playmakers, right? And
Yeah.
so I do think there's going to be some points scored. I think it's going to be high 20s on those scores. And man, it might be the who's got the ball last. I mean, literally, who's got the ball last, and um, I'm going to take the more experienced quarterback, and I'm going to take Marcel Reed.
There you go.
And I'm going to
You're not taking
go,
the better coach.
I'm gonna go 28-27. Those are your words, not mine.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm gonna go 28-27. Aggies.
do it. Love it.
By the way, my predictions have been pretty on point the first 2 weeks, so keep that in mind.
I don't even know what I predict half the time. So I might start writing them down. Hold on.
Yeah, this one's in the books. A little around the country here. Hey, some big games this weekend, Corey.
Love it.
Unexpectedly big game, USF and Miami. How about
Yeah.
that top 25 matchup? Miami's favored by 17 and a half, over unders 56 and a half. What do you think about this game?
Same thing we thought last week. USF. We took them,
Yeah.
hit it, won. They won the game outright. I'm not going to take them outright. Don't get me wrong. I ain't doing that.
Look, I
I
think
ain't
a
afraid.
couple of things here. One, 100%. I think USF is a good damn team. I mean, they
Oh yeah.
manhandled Boise State in week one, and they came out and maybe they weren't the better team. I mean, Florida made a ton of stupid ass mistakes in that game, but
Yeah.
man, they were out there competing with Florida, head to head and at Florida, right? It's not like they were at Florida, man. They're in the swamp where the people don't go and win, and they did it.
Right.
And I also believe that this Miami team is overrated because of the win in week one against Notre Dame. I think they're getting a lot of credit for that. And I'm not sure that they're as good as people have them. They're ranked like number 4 or 5 in the country right now. They're
Right.
going to drop. And I would take, yeah, USF with the points all day. I don't know that they go out and win this one, like you said. It's at Miami, but I do think they give them a game.
Gotcha.
How about Georgia, Tennessee? Georgia's favored by 3.5.
Dude, is that the real Georgia team that played last weekend? I mean, that was I don't know. I haven't really watched Georgia play that much. So I mean, if three
That
and a half points,
Austin P
I
team, by
haven't
the way,
watched Tennessee
dominated
either.
Middle Tennessee in week one.
Who did?
Austin P, who was the problem for Georgia last week.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, just talent wise, minus 3.5. I mean, you almost got to take Tennessee, don't you? I haven't really watched Tennessee though. I don't know. I'm just going on history here.
Yeah,
If I was
but
going history, I'd take Georgia.
historically, Georgia's absolutely dominated Tennessee, right? I mean, they just
Yeah.
have. That's just fact.
Who you
But
taking? You're taking Tennessee, aren't you?
I'm taking Tennessee. Look, I'm not impressed with this Georgia offense at all. They scored 24 points against Austin Peay. They didn't look that great in week one. I don't know that they've got, one, I don't like their coordinator. They can't run the football. There's something wrong with that Georgia offense. And, after all the offseason discussion about, oh, Tennessee lost Nico, I think they stepped up. They got better at quarterback, adding Aguilar, who's looked great in the first
Yeah.
couple of weeks, man. They're explosive on offense. And I understand that's against two subpar teams, whatever, but I do believe that this Tennessee team has more to offer offensively this year. And I think they're gonna win this game outright.
What do you think about the over under? Under?
Uh Under.
I
49 and
agree.
a half.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be close. I think it's under.
Gotcha.
How about Clemson and Georgia Tech? Clemson's favored by 3.5, 54.5 over under. Look, this is a matchup. Clemson's still getting a lot. I think a lot of respect from preseason. They get beat by LSU, and all of a sudden people think LSU's a, national championship team, yada, yada, yada. I think this Clemson team looks like crap, but to be honest.
Why? I don't get it. They have the same players coming back from last year, the most experienced team in the nation, damn
Yeah.
near. What's the difference?
That's what I don't get, right? Most
I don't
experience.
get it.
I mean, just incredible. Quarterback's been there for 4 years, the whole shebang, right? There's no
Yeah,
excuses
oh,
for
he's
this
being
dude.
hyped for the Heisman, a high draft pick this year. I don't see. I don't know if he gets drafted right now.
Man, I haven't seen it. This offense has been terrible. I think the running game is non-existent. I don't get it with Clemson, and I don't know what their problem is, but they've got problems. And that's not to say that they're not the more talented team than Georgia Tech. They are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think Georgia Tech's going to give them fits, man. And they're playing at Georgia Tech. They almost beat them last year. Georgia Tech almost beat them last year. I think Georgia Tech beats them.
Is Haynes King playing?
Yes, Haynes King's playing.
All right. With that said, give me Clemson.
He is good for a good 2 or 3 turnovers.
That's what I'm saying. Dude. That guy ain't afraid to turn the ball over.
It was week one when he turned the ball over 3 times. He's got to stay healthy. But that dude's also a playmaker, right? He's also the heartbeat of this Georgia
Yes.
Tech offense, right? His physicality, his toughness, just his ability to make plays with his feet. And yeah, he makes
Yeah.
mistakes at times, but man, he's got big heart and he plays hard. And I love that.
Yep.
Um, and I'm not sure that Clemson has any of that in him, by the way. Wisconsin, Bama, Bama minus 21 and a half. Over under 46 and a half. Bama, obviously a bounce back game this past weekend against School of the Blind, whatever. But they took a butt whooping to Florida State. I
They
mean, it
did
was
that.
an ass whooping.
They
And the
did that. I mean,
quarterback
20.
called them out prior to the game, right? And they still took the ass whooping.
I'll tell you what, that I'm not sure about this 21.5 points, but Bama's going to win this game. I'm not sure about how much. I'll take Bama.
Yeah, Bama's going to win the game. Wisconsin's not any good.
No.
The question is, do they cover the 21 and a half?
Ah, probably.
Yes, they do.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, probably. How about Arkansas at Ole Miss? Ole Miss is minus 7.5, over under 62 and a half. Man,
Is the Ole Miss quarterback hurt?
Yeah, he just sucks.
Simmons?
All the hype that everybody was going on is it Austin Simmons?
Yeah,
The
Simmons. I
dude,
don't know. It's Austin, yeah, I think.
the dude has thrown, I think, 2 interceptions each game. I mean, he doesn't look very good. Your boy Lane was all over his ass the other night. You know, I think Arkansas is going to win this game outright.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what's the final score in this one? Because I'm thinking over.
Uh, I'm thinking, boy, 62 and a half is a big over, right? Uh,
Is it for us? Is that a big one?
for SEC teams, it is.
Really? Arkansas?
Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if it went over, man. That over's a little tight for me. I'd take Arkansas outright to win. I would take them with the plus points as a winner.
Okay. That's a don't put that on my account, but yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm kind of iffy. If anything, I'd probably do the over, but that's me.
I really haven't been impressed by Ole Miss at all. I mean, where's that score from last week?
Who did they play last week?
That's what I'm
Oh,
trying to
Kentucky.
find.
They play Kentucky at Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, is Kentucky any good? I mean, Zach Calzada,
They got Zach Calzada.
yeah, big time ball player, 30 to 23 in that game, buddy. 30 to 23.
That's 53
Simmons
points between those two teams. You don't think Arkansas can score?
Simmons was 13 to 24 for 235 and 2 picks. You
Hey,
know,
how many touchdowns?
none.
Well, how they score?
The running back and probably 3 turnovers.
That's probably it.
All the scores were on the ground. K'Wan Lacey's a pretty good running back. He's not bad. And then Simmons ran one in, and then they had another one by another running back. So yeah, I mean, look, I don't have any faith in that team right now. And not only that, I think Kalen Green's a really good quarterback, and he has had. By the way, you know who leads the country in touchdown passes? Ken Green.
He does. You got 10.
That dude is absolutely slicing people up right now. I'm taking Arkansas. Let's move on to the
Who
next
did
one.
they play?
Florida,
Who's Arkansas played?
nobody.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. What you're
Arkansas State.
slicing people up. They ain't slicing. It. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, let's go through the list of teams that haven't played anybody and still aren't slicing anybody up. How about
Ole
that?
Miss just played Kentucky and beat them, and you're giving them shit that they suck.
Kentucky's the worst team in the SEC, so there you go.
Who did Ole Miss beat in the first week?
You want to go week one, Ole Miss?
Well, I'm just saying, who did they play? Compare them to who Arkansas has played in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Georgia State. That's who they played. Georgia State.
Okay, what was the final?
63 to 7.
Okay, now look at
Georgia
Arkansas.
State.
Who is Arkansas? Who is Arkansas beat?
Georgia State. Hey, look,
Okay,
Alabama, they beat Alabama,
who?
A&M,
Yeah,
and Arkansas State. So
yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, Georgia State might be better than both those teams.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll see it this
Give
Saturday.
me Ole You talked me into it. Give me Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss and the over.
All right. You take Ole Miss, but I'm betting Arkansas straight up. Florida at
Over.
LSU minus 8.5, 48 and a
Over.
half.
I don't think so. Give me hey, Florida looked bad. I mean, I'm doesn't they look bad? The quarterback Lagley, I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, South Florida looked good against them and Boise State. Is South Florida good, or are these two teams not
South
as good
Florida's
as
good.
everybody thought?
South
Huh?
Florida's good. South Florida's good.
That's what I'm saying. Is their defense that good? I mean, they only gave up what 16 points to Florida and I think a touchdown to Boise. They've only given up like 23 or something points all year, haven't they?
Look, I think the dumb stuff that, I mean, stupid mistakes by Florida in that game. They should have won that game, right? They come down in there and the guy spits in the other guy's, on the other guy and the 15-yard penalty, on the final drive, right? Like so like they're undisciplined. They had I don't know how many penalties. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That's coaching.
Florida's
That's
has some
Jimbo shit.
problems there. That's coaching, by the way, coaching,
That's
and
Jimbo.
he's probably gonna get fired. But
Fire, fire. There it is. Yep, he's on the
but
hot seat already. Hey, man,
but
I'll
I,
tell you what, USF's got the toughest schedule in the country. I don't care who you say right now. Boise, Florida, Miami, first 3 weeks of the season. That's
yeah.
tough.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you what. After saying that about Florida, I think LSU's overrated. Right? They're getting so much credit for beating Clemson, a Clemson team that I don't think is that good, and they struggled last week against Louisiana Tech. I think LSU is overrated. Having said all that, they're playing in the swamp. I mean, they're playing in Death Valley
Baton
at
Rouge
night.
tonight, LSU,
LSU is going to win this game,
and the over.
and the over. I like that.
LSU's gonna be bombing, dude. They're gonna be throwing the ball deep, and Florida's gonna be playing catch up. Clock won't be running that much. Be a lot
LSU
of
and the over. By the way,
yeah.
Florida beat them last year, but LSU and the over.
So
All
we
right.
got so let me go recap. We got LSU in the over, Ole Miss in the over, Bama,
We do not have Ole
Clemson,
Miss. You have Ole Miss.
Tennessee in the under, USF. We didn't talk about over under. That's probably gonna be another under game. USF's defense been pretty good.
Yeah. Question from the tailgate brought to you by Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractor in Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your life. Corey, what's the biggest question going forward for the Aggies?
As in A&M or college football? What are you talking about?
Aiden.
The biggest question: can our D line step up and stop the interior run? Stop the big plays, just the big plays, period. Damn it. I'm tired of big plays against these shitty teams. Now we're playing good teams and we keep getting up the big plays. It
Yeah,
kills your confidence. Kills it.
100%.
Kills the confidence.
I couldn't agree more. Can you stop the big play? Specifically for me, though, it's in the run game.
Yeah.
Can you
Interior
be
line.
more disciplined in the run game? And if you can, I think you've got a chance to have a really good year. If you can't, and I've said this all along, then, same old, right? What do you feel best about going forward?
It's like you said, man. I agree with you. I think our offense can score points against anybody just about. I mean, I don't think we have too many weaknesses. We have a strong offensive line. If they play together, we have a solid quarterback. I'm not saying he's great yet, but he's
Right.
solid.
Yeah.
Great running backs. Start led by Le'Veon. And then the receivers are God, they're impressive. I mean, they're
Wow.
very impressive. You're right about all. I mean, the tight ends who in our weak spot, we have a way of hiding them and even use them to our advantage. I mean, Theo's caught some balls and Nibu or whatever his name is. And they're trying to use
Wow.
him. I mean, Nibal, whatever but yeah, the offense has been very impressive. That's what I
Yeah.
feel.
I think the thing that I feel best about is our playmakers. I mean,
The
and
best
that's those,
offense I've seen with us since I've seen
yeah.
Johnny play.
Yeah. Four wide receivers, the running backs. I think our playmakers, man, best makes me feel so good. And I think the offensive line is coming together just fine. I mean, you don't see them get beat. They're more. It's more about they miss assignments every once in a while. Somebody leaks through or whatever. Playmakers. That's what I feel best about. Anything?
I think it is the best offense since Johnny.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, last words, man, before the big weekend.
Gig 'em.
Are you gonna win a poker tournament this weekend?
Probably not. I'll be there.
Gig 'em Aggies, AP, C Money from the tailgate.